Hey everyone, welcome back to Williamson Ridge Outdoors. Today we're standing at the back of the truck next to our Echo DSRM-2600 battery string trimmer. This is part of their E-Force series of trimmers and battery equipment. And this DSRM-2600 is in their X series. Now I want to do a quick demonstration today of how easy it is to restring this trimmer. So Echo actually uses their speed feed trimmer head on this, and it makes restringing this trimmer extremely easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just get some trimmer line and go ahead and pre-cut a length on it. And I usually use about 15 feet or so of trimmer line. And what I really like to use is actually this Echo Black Diamond. This stuff is very durable and it has kind of cutting edges on it. It tends to leave a pretty good cut. The only negative that I can say about this trimmer line is the fact that it sometimes makes it feel like the head is unbalanced. So as it's spinning, you can actually get some vibration feeling in that head versus using like a round trimmer line or something. But this stuff is a kind of a diamond shape. I don't know if you can really see that on the camera or not, but it's kind of a diamond shape. And that does cause some, I'm going to say, irregularities with the trimmer head when you're running that thing full speed. You don't really feel it while you're cutting grass, but you can feel it whenever you hit the trigger and it's just the trimmer line on there by itself. So anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to pull out about 15 feet or so of this. And I'm not going to take the time to get a measuring tape out and figure this out. I just do it basically on my arm's length. So I am about 5'10" or 5'11", somewhere in that area. So my arm spans are roughly 5.5 feet or so. So I can pull out 3 arms lengths, and that gives me roughly 12 to 15 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the trimmer line loose from the package. So now we have a long piece of line. So the way this speed feed head works is if you don't need to do any maintenance to it and it's ready to use and it turns freely, so if you can push it in and turn it without any real resistance there, then it's pretty much ready to just reload. Sometimes you may end up having to take this thing completely apart in order to clean out maybe some debris or something in there. But if it moves around freely, then you can pretty well just go ahead and reload it. Stick around to the end of the video and I will show you how it comes apart too, to be able to clean it out if need be. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and reload it. And the thing that makes this so easy is that you can look through the eyes where your string goes, and all you're going to do is turn this until you see daylight on the other side. So you can see it's a clear shot through the head right there. So now that we have that lined up, we're going to take our pre-cut trimmer line and just going to run it through one side and out the other. And we're just basically going to even this up so we have the same amount of line on each side of the trimmer head. And what makes this so easy is now that you've got your line in place, all you have to do is push in on the head and turn it clockwise. And just kind of keep working around your line a little bit, keeping it from getting tangled up. You can see how quickly that's working in there. And there you have it. So now you can kind of adjust your length if you need to. And if you need to where I've got it just a little bit short right here, then you can just push it in and turn it counterclockwise. And then you can just pull it back out a little bit to be able to get your length. So now it's ready to use. And to be able to feed your line, then it's just, you just bump it like normal. And you can probably hear too that Black Diamond line is actually pretty loud, and you can kind of feel that vibration in here. But aside from that, I love this trimmer line. It just has a really good cut, and it's really tough. But you can hear that it's feeding out every time I bump the ground. You can hear it get to the cutters and have to cut off again, so it's working correctly. So that is all there is to restringing the Echo DSRM-2600 with the speed feed head. So if you have trouble with it feeding and it's not turning easy, then you may actually have to take it apart and clean it out. That's also a pretty simple process, and it doesn't take any tools to do so. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So I did take the battery out of the trimmer so we can't accidentally turn it on or anything, but this is pretty simple. You've got a tab on each side of the trimmer head, and all you have to do is push these tabs in, and this trimmer head will come apart. Sometimes they are a little bit tough to get it to go underneath the lip on the outside edge, so you just kind of have to work with it. But again, it is just toolless, and it just takes a little bit of elbow grease to sometimes get those tabs pushed in far enough to pop loose. So now you can see the end of the head comes off, and I'm holding on to the trimmer line spool so that it doesn't just pop out of there and unspool the line. If you have debris or anything in here, you can pull this out. Just hang on to it. You've got your trimmer line still spooled up. Then you can check all this stuff in here and see if there's any buildup or debris. And make sure that these components are spinning free in order for them to work correctly. If that's not spinning free, then you've probably got some buildup or something down in there, and then you would have to pull this off to be able to get in there to clean that out. I've actually never had to take mine loose, and I've used this trimmer for a lot of different jobs, and I've never had to pull this thing loose. So there's a couple ways to go about this. Right here, there's a notch in the guard that you can put a tool into, that it goes into the shaft to hold it still to keep it from turning. That way you can take this nut loose. So you've got the hole you line up here to be able to put, say, like a little metal rod into. A lot of times, I'm not sure if this one did or not, but a lot of times they come with this little tool that goes in here to hold this shaft, so that locks it in. So then you can just grab a hold of the trimmer head, and it just spins loose. And this is a righty-loosey. So this is a reverse thread on this. So you can see that leaves you with just the shaft here, and it's got this collar on here. That gets you your trimmer head off, so that way you can take everything apart and clean everything out of this to make sure there's no debris that's fouling this up to keep you from being able to turn it. So then we're just going to put it all right back together. And when you're putting it back together, it really kind of only fits one way. That spool and everything sits down in there, and then your little brass fitting here that threads onto the shaft will sit pretty well flush with the trimmer head. And then of course you got your spring in here, and that's pretty much kept in. I don't know if you can pull that out or not. Now, seems like it's kind of made in there. You can probably pull it out, but no sense in taking it out if you don't need to. But you can put that trimmer head back together. Or by doing this with it together, it just makes it one solid piece, so you don't have all these pieces trying to just screw in one piece at a time. So we're going to put it on here. We're going to turn it left or loose in order for it to thread on. We're going to take our little bar and stick in the hole here to lock it into place. And then we're just going to kind of hand tighten it. Doesn't have to be really torqued on there or anything, just snugged up. So as you can see, that was actually really easy to restring, and it was also really easy to take it apart. It's almost completely toolless. You only have to use a tool to hold that shaft in place while you try to turn the trimmer head in order to turn that loose. And that was factory. That trimmer head's never been off, and it was just hand tight. So I was able to just turn it right off there without any problem. So if you enjoyed today's video, I appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button. Also, if you know anybody that needs some help with a string trimmer, make sure to share this video with them, because hopefully it can simplify the process for them and help them understand how this speed feed head works. And until next time, keep it outdoors, and thanks for watching.